All right, I'm live. I am live. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I got coffee in the background. I'm brewing it. I'm going to run and get it. I am having some sound problems. Let me know if the sound is okay. If you don't mind, just give me a comment if there's some sound issues, because I think I found out what the problem is. I have a video card which is set up on Windows 8, but I have Windows 10 downloaded, and I think it's causing like a popping noise. I was going to set this up. I have the world's shittiest laptop. It's a Toshiba piece of shit. It's actually called piece of shit. It literally is called Toshiba. It's a piece of shit. It's the worst thing I've ever bought in my entire life. And yeah, so anyway, Funky Lions fan. Now I feel betrayed, just like that Green Day. Knew you are not by yourself, man. But if it's bad sound quality, right before the show, I was trying to figure it out. There's some way to do it. Like it didn't accept the download, and I was like trying to troubleshoot. I am not a computer guy, so it's a little difficult for me. The last two videos I actually shot on my phone, and it was a pain in the ass. Took a lot longer, so I apologize for the Eagles and Lions videos. Yeah, it's on my cell phone, but the one thing I'm going to ask is, did anybody catch? I didn't see in the comments. Did anybody like the draft chime? I've never added any music, so you know. Man, Alex, you know what we did? We talked all about the Cowboys, the whole show. That's what we did. It's really bad when I do the videos. It's really bad. I just had to completely just do the videos on my phone. So it really sucked. I'd say up past midnight, both times for the videos. It was kind of a struggle, but yeah. I did not know this, man. Justin Britt's actually a pretty damn good player. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, man. That is a good thing. And yeah, it was really weird, man. It was Cowboys, how much we love them, America's team, whole nine yards. Jace, what was it? Drew Pearson did not shove off 90s Dynasty greatest ever. That's what. Actually, man, we missed you, man. Yeah, man, I did the Lions. I'm kind of surprised. I thought I was going to get more hate for the pick. But lots of people liked it. One guy commented on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't seen him in the chat. He's somebody new. He commented that they're going to take Parsons. Lions are going to take Parsons, and they only care about winning. I can't tell you how wrong that is, and I kind of want to use some other adjectives besides wrong. But basically, let me tell you something. Teams care about this stuff. All right? Teams care about this stuff. When you go ahead and you bring in a new manager, GM, and coach, off-field stuff matters. And here's the deal. It matters to the bottom line. When you have off-field issues, you got to do damage control. You got to do all sorts of stuff. You don't go ahead and just you don't go ahead and you don't go ahead and draft a bunch of players with red flags. All right. You don't draft a bunch of players with red flags. So the Lions fan who said that it doesn't matter, all we care about is winning, that's it. No, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But that's okay. That's okay. You are 100% allowed to disagree with me. Now, look, I'm going to grab my cup of coffee, even though I'm really jacked up. I will be right back. All right. I'm here. All right. Yeah. You did not see the video yet. I got a spoiler alert. I put the NFL draft chime in there. So I thought that was really cool. Nobody mentioned that. So I guess I did. Oh, we are going to talk about the NFC West, and I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what your opinion is of the NFC West. For those of you who don't know, my number one bet before the season was Seattle over 9.5, and then I put a little side action on Seattle to win the division. Let me ask you this: who's the favorite to win the NFC West? Is it the Cardinals? Is it the Rams? If Russell Wilson stays in Seattle, is it Seattle? Let me ask you something. Let's say Russell Wilson stays in Seattle, and they add some pieces. Is that the favorite? That's my favorite. I still, as of today, as of right now, I have Seattle winning the division. And then I think both the Rams, if they can stay healthy, and Arizona go to the playoffs. And I think San Francisco wins 5 games and fires Kyle Shanahan. That's kind of what I think. So, yeah, the video is out. The video is out. You're going to see a lot of that. Trust me. John Dorsey is a master of doing that. So you're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. You're going to see a totally different roster very quickly. You're going to see totally different roster. What was this right here? Oh, you do play Arizona. I did not know that. And I actually am looking forward to it, man. James asked, do I think Deshaun Watson signs with the Bears? I still don't think he's going to leave the Texans. I think the Texans are just going to say, you know what? We lost Hopkins. We lost J.J. Watt. He's got no trade clause. He's going to play. He's not going to sit out. And here's the drill. You just signed a 4-year, $180 million contract. It's not like you're in year 3 of this. All right? Just basic math. Let's just say it's $45 million a year. Take $45 million to divide it by 16. All right, that's almost $3 million a game. All right, let's just say 275. All right, shit, 2.5. Are you really giving up a $2.5 million paycheck because you can't play where you want to play? Really? Who has the leverage? The Texans have the leverage, not Deshaun Watson. He can go on social media till whatever. Is he really going to sit out? And by the way, let's say he goes, hey, I'm going to sit out. If I have to play, I'm going to sit out. Ask Le'Veon Bell how that worked. Ask Le'Veon Bell, hey, how did that work? Yeah, you got to the Super Bowl. How many snaps? 0? How much money did he lost a lot of money because he signed that deal. The Jets cut him. He got a bonus. He got some money for those 2 years, but ultimately, if he took the deal, Pittsburgh got him, and he stayed with Pittsburgh, he'd have more money. Let's face it, Deshaun Watson's a smart dude. He can sit here and he can throw a fit all he wants, but bottom line, when it comes close to the season, even if he doesn't go to training camp, even if he doesn't participate in preseason, he's not giving up those game checks. Can some team offer a monster deal? Sure. I don't think Houston takes it. All right, I'm just going to drink a lot of coffee here. I'm jacked up. Yeah, the NFC West is going to be a lot of fun. The NFC West. One Pride 40, man. I love the icon. It's pretty cool. Glad you liked the video, man. I'm really glad that you and Funk liked my pick. I did not see that, man. I did not see that. Did you like the chime? Nobody mentioned the chime. I thought it was going to be cool, but I guess you guys don't care. Now, if Russ stays in Seattle, they're the favorite. If Russ goes in Arizona's QB is healthy in Arizona. The Arizona and the Rams are still. Yeah, hey Alex, man, as usual, me and you we're on point together, man. I couldn't say it any better myself. The biggest mistake Detroit can do is sign a free agent quarterback. Well, you just did it. But you got those draft picks, and I think more than golf, you want those draft picks. Denver Gator, what is up, brother? Damn, by the way, I do got the OnlyFans account going. I wear your team's thong for the $49.99 membership. Yeah, so I look good in a thong, by the way. I just read the Bears offered Watson the biggest offer. I have not seen this. I still think he's staying. I really do. Alex points out people don't understand the Texans literally can't. If they do it, they would break his contract, forcing the Texans will $50,000 in fines plus a bunch of draft picks. It's either let him sit or no future. And you're right. You're right. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It's great. We're Deshaun Watson to Miami for Tua, the third pick, next year's number one. It's great. He's not going anywhere. JJ Watt gone. That made sense. I thought you watched me say that. I thought he was going to be gone, but no, Watson's going to stay. Watson's going to stay. But still, it's great television. And hey, listen, if I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. It's no big deal. I'd rather sign for money because signing for a team for a chance to win a ring isn't a guarantee. No, you're right. You're right. I mean, there's players late in their career, they go ahead and they want to win the ring, but it's after they get the money. Here's the deal: you're only going to play football for 10 years, but you got a chance to have your great grandkids taken care of if you invest your money properly. So, I mean, people that think like, oh no, you're not going to, you should do like what Tom Brady did. Well, yeah, I get that, but Tom Brady, what he's doing right now, he's trying to get that money, and he got lucky and got a ring also. But if you're telling me that if you're an elite quarterback and you're like, well, don't pay me $45 million, just pay me 30, that's a lie. It's a lie. You're going to go after the money. You're going to go after the money. You know where the money is for Deshaun Watson? It's in Houston. So. James says, I saw Pat McAfee was offered a spot on the Lions staff, but I don't know if he took it. Oh, wow. You know what? I've tuned in just for like brief seconds. It's kind of entertaining. I kind of don't want to copy that because I kind of like doing my own thing. So, but it's a cool show, man. I mean, he's a fun dude to watch, man. Dude's jacked too, man. No sign like Tyrod Taylor, somebody kills all trade value. Well, if you're going to go with Goff, you need a backup quarterback. It wouldn't surprise me if Tyrod ends up in Detroit. Anthony Lynn really liked him. It was just kind of an unfortunate situation. And when Justin Herbert exploded, that kind of led me to think that, yeah. I liked it. There was a lot of coach speak. I had before I watched it. I had Penei Sewell going 7 to Detroit in my draft. Oh shit, you didn't even watch it yet. All right, just earmuffs but after watching that, it kind of led me to believe like this is his type of guy. I kind of liked it. He said a few things that was interesting, things I already knew, but he mentioned something about like they'll do like 10 hitch routes or something like that if they can't figure out how to do the hitch. That's exactly what the Saints did. They were a pass-heavy team because they had Drew Brees. But when Drew Brees wasn't there, they had a run-heavy team. And I think that's what Detroit is. And it's funny because that's the polar opposite of what Matt Patricia did. And that was the number one thing I said about Matt Patricia. He just kept on saying that he kept on using the same defense. Hey, I got a rookie corner. Hey, we're going to put you in, man. And I was like, no, you can't do that. But he kept on doing the same thing over and over. Eventually got him fired. So kind of confirmed a lot of things I already knew, but I did like it. I thought it was really cool. He seemed genuinely jacked up. I kind of wanted to put on pads and like run some routes for him. I mean, I was pretty jacked up, but a lot of pressers go the right way. A lot. I mean, it's very rare that you hear a bad conference. I mean, usually you're trained by your management because I mean he's got an agent, believe it or not. That's something a lot of people know. Coaches have agents. They work for agents and they're coached on how to say these things. I knew a guy. He was going to college with a guy who was enrolling in or he went to high school with a guy enrolled in Tennessee. And what they do is they enroll you in these classes to how to say things to the media, what to say, what not to say. Oh, I'm going to skip here. I'm going to see. Okay, Mike, here's the drill. I have no idea how this happened, but like I see, okay, I get a bell, there's a notification, and I saw the link, but when I click on it, it's gone. Is there any chance, because I do think I've seen the link, but is there any chance you can just email it to me? Because for whatever reason, it just won't accept it. Now, I have no idea why. After spending so much time working on my computer and trying to get the sound, yeah, I'm not in the mood to like do more messing with the computer. But don't get me wrong, I could type out the whole thing. But if you don't mind, if not, I probably will go to it sooner or later. It's ESPN, so I can, even though I don't have the plus thing here. So the best move the Lions made so far was letting go of 2 more Quinn front office guys today. I actually, there's a lot of good moves that they made. I still think that hiring John Dorsey is going to be an NFL GM again. It's just a matter of time. I thought that was maybe the best move, but everything the Lions have done so far has been fantastic. Just as we keep going, I'm warning you, this is going to be a bad team, but with Dorsey rearranging the roster, he took a 0-win Cleveland team to 3 years later winning a playoff game. He took a 2-14 Kansas City Chiefs team, turned them into 11-5. So even though there's examples of Dorsey having results fast, I would temper that. So that's just my opinion. Texans aren't even answering calls to reporting teams leaving voicemails. Oh yeah. Thank you for confirming this. But this is the drill, man. We know what's going on here. If you're in this chat, you know what's going on. So yeah, I haven't even seen it yet. But Campbell's on the Pat McAfee show. I maybe I should watch more than Pat. I don't want to pattern myself against anybody. I just want to be me. So drinking coffee jacked up. McAfee was offered a job. If he was signed as a kicker, special team coach, that would be good. I think so. I wonder if he could do his show. I don't know if he can still kick. I'm not being facetious when I say this. It's you get weaker as you get older. I don't know if his health situation, he may have had like a repaired leg or a knee issue or something like that, maybe even hip. That's another thing. I'm going to go on a rant here for a little bit. People forget that Tua had an issue with his hip that 20 years ago he probably missed half the season. The simple fact that he was able to play. So all these talk about trading Tua's no good. You had a hip injury. You do throw with more than just your arm. Your hip's part of it, so people are like, oh no, Tua's terrible. He had a bad hip. He shouldn't have been able to play this year, and he was able to play early without OTAs and off season. So anyway, that's my dang old Dan Sewell to Lions. Oh hell yeah. I didn't even think about that. But nobody mentioned the chime. I was so proud of that. Nobody even cared. I even timed it up for I put it in my script. I'm going to pause, let the chime go, and nobody even said anything. So, but anyway, it's okay. Better be. I'll go to ESPN. You know what, Mike? If you don't want to email it to me, I will. I'll go to ESPN. I'll check it out. But the Chiefs' offensive line is a huge priority this offseason. We're getting Louis Nang and LDT from COVID, and then the Chiefs always bring in a lot of offensive linemen. But their 2 starters have both red flags, and they also think that Eric Fisher is coming back to training camp from a torn Achilles, and I'm like, I have no idea how that's going to happen because that's like 6 months, and normally that's a 9 to 10 month injury at least. So I don't know if there's something special about Eric Fisher, but the Chiefs have been known for their medical prowess. They actually just did something terrible. They're calling it like GEHH. It's GEHA Field at Arrowhead. So the Chiefs finally gave up the naming rights to something. I mean, Clark Hunt's only worth like $30 billion. So, he's worried about making money. Little known thing. Did you know the Hunt family is like 4 to 5 times richer than the Jones family? So like Jerry Jones, he's not even the richest man in Dallas, not even close. Clark Hunt makes like three. Clark Hunt lives in Dallas. A lot of people don't know this. The Chiefs owner lives in Dallas. He's worth 3 to 5 times more than Jerry Jones. Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people know that. I don't think Watson will start the season for Houston, though I think he will play. He can only sell for so many games through pocket. Trust me, he's not turning down a game check. I have no idea the way his contract's structured. A game check's going to be like $2 million. He's not sitting out. He'll be ready to play. He'll be ready to play. No, signing a QB does not hurt because are going to want to jump Carolina, and golf makes people already believe the Lions won't take one, whether it's Tyrod or Chase. Nothing changes. No, I agree with that. Nothing really changes. They still need a backup quarterback, whether it's Chase or Tyrod, either or. I think Chase Daniel makes quite a bit of money as a backup quarterback. Love Chase Daniel. Loved him here in Kansas City. So I think he's great backup quarterback. Great backup quarterback. He starts more in 3 games. I'd be like, but. You're right. Denver Gator is a contract of interest. So, what is Dorsey's history comes? I'm sorry. What has been Dorsey's history when it comes to rebuilding a defense? He's like a certain position over. Actually, it's funny because in Kansas City they ran a 3-4, and then in Cleveland they ran a 4-3. Basically, he's really done a good job with pass rushers, but he kind of got lucky in Kansas City because the year before we drafted Justin Houston in the 3rd round and started him as a rookie. And if you know anything about Romeo Crennel's defense, it's a very complex defense. And then when Bob Sutton came in, he really dumbed it down, and he had one of my favorite players, Atamba Ali on one side, Justin Houston on the other. So even though you had a 2-14 team, you had 2 really good pass rushers on each side. Both of them ended up being Pro Bowlers. There's been talk about Justin Houston coming back to Kansas City, one of my all-time favorite players. But he's and then keep in mind the number 1 pick, Myles Garrett. Of course, that was kind of a no-brainer. But he's always been good at pass rushers. He's always emphasized pass rush, but both a 3-4 and a 4-3. So even if we saw, you know what? I don't think it matters. To be honest with you, I don't think who the backup quarterback means anything. I think that what you'll do is you'll take a look at 7, and if there's a guy that you absolutely love, then you take that guy. But I could really see them. The mock trade I think would be most likely would be 7 and 12, and San Francisco picks 12. I could see somebody like Trey Lance, for example, being available at 7, and San Francisco saying, "Hey, we'll take him. What do you want?" And I could see them giving up a 2022 first-round pick. Let me throw out a curveball, and I didn't put this in the video because shooting with my phone was a little difficult, but. Did anybody watch Clemson and Notre Dame, not the playoff, but the regular season game where Trevor Lawrence's backup quarterback threw for like 423? He was a true freshman. That guy's going to be the first pick in the 2023 NFL draft. So the fact that the Lions have 2 picks in 2023, and the way Goff's contract's set up, it's like you got to eat a lot the first 2 years, but that 3rd year, you could be trying to get draft picks for 2023. You already got 2 first-rounders. FYI, if you don't think general managers think 3 years ahead, they do. General managers think 2-3 years ahead. Head coaches think this year. Head coaches, the best teams are run when the general manager thinks 2 to 3 years ahead and the head coach thinks this year. When you have the head coach thinking next year and the GM thinking next year, this year's just going to suck. So. He doesn't value linebackers. So I'm telling you right now, and you can look at the comments, some Lions fan who I 100% disagree. I'm not even sure if Parsons goes in the first round. I don't think Parsons goes in the first round. I think the off-field stuff is so bad that he's not going to end up. So where did I'm not Golden Rooster. I'm not sure who you're referring to. Not sure you're referring to. Are you talking? Are you not? You're not talking Matthew Stafford, are you? Well, let me know if you are. We'll get you. Pat seems to really dig Dane Campbell, and he sees what Detroit is building. 27 minutes on with Pat. Okay, all right. If it was a real offer, it would be hard to turn down. It might be. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I've been in. I'm glad you're jacked up. I'm jacked up. Finally. I was really proud of that, man. I never added a sound effect before. I'm going to put that in until YouTube says something. I don't know if YouTube says something or not, but I really liked it. I like the sound effect. By the way, give me a thumbs up. On this here. I am not watching YouTube. I may have 10,000 thumbs down. I have no idea. I wonder if Houston will think of getting a new QB. We waived her back. Oh yeah, you did waive a backup. I forgot about that. There's a chance, and I think you can agree with me. I have a major draft crush on Kellen Mond, and if he's available when Houston's picking, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the pick. And the reason why is they can get a little creative using him. So Kellen Mund's a guy that I'm really kind of interested in. I think his name's David Mills, the quarterback in Stanford. That's another guy that's going to generate some buzz. He's going to go somewhere between rounds 3 and 5. Could be available, and he's a guy who's got massive upside too. So there's some quarterbacks besides the 5 that are going in the first round. That could end up being pretty good quarterbacks. You got Trask in Florida, Kellen Mond guy. I am extremely high on. David Mills out of Stanford. There's one other guy I'm drawing a blank on that's going to get drafted. That I was. It's not who I'm thinking of, but Felipe Sparks was at Florida. He went to Arkansas. He's got enough ability to make an NFL roster. Maybe I can get to. You know what? I tried running the old school Monday Night Football. You know, the dun 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 dun, and I got copyright infringement. So I was kind of worried about doing the chime, but it's not. I don't think it's an NFL thing, so I think I'm good. But if I do get an infringement, I'm just you guys get two. I might need all those. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Miami's actually pretty happy with Tua. Okay, hey Golden Rooster, he went to the Rams. And the Rams traded Goff, this year's 3rd round pick, 2022's first, and 2023's first. And the caveat is that Goff signed the huge deal. He's going to be paid $43 million this year. The Lions have to eat that contract, so they're given picks, and it's a financial move. So there's a lot getting involved in that. So the Lions are going to have Goff's contract, and also broke this down when I did my draft video. Is that this is kind of why I don't think the Lions are going to draft a quarterback this year, but the 2023. I'm going to say this right now. 2023's draft, 2 years from now, that Clemson quarterback, that true freshman kid who looked almost as good as Trevor Lawrence, he's going number 1. And there's several general managers that's going to position their draft to try to get that kid. Detroit might be one of them. They got 2 first-rounders already, so be warned. Daniels is getting cut. That would suck, man. I really like that kid. I heard third round stringers show up like 2 times a week and just have to know the playbook. Pretty much. If you want, actually, let me give you the 101. The bottom 5 of an NFL team, because 53. 45 who dress, and then there's like 8 that, don't dress, practice squad, injured, whatever. The bottom 5 in the NFL roster constantly goes on. If you go to any NFL team, almost every Tuesday, they'll have 3 to 8 players coming in just for tryouts, just in case. So, yeah, there's third stringers that come in. It's like, hey, you worked with this coordinator a couple years ago. Do you know how to run these plays? Okay, well, let's get you on the field and just, they practice, hey, call to play, go over everything. And that's actually a lot more important than the physical. A lot of it is being good in the position rooms. You want to get, for example, a third string quarterback. You want to get somebody who's bright, takes good notes, knows the offense, and can articulate to the backup and the starter quarterback. A lot of times you bring in, for example, San Francisco. Well, actually, no, not San Francisco. I'm sorry. Okay, the Jets. Okay, let's go with the Jets. Okay. They're bringing in a guy from San Francisco to be their new offensive coordinator. So they may bring in a third string quarterback who worked in San Francisco. Maybe he got cut in preseason, who already knows this offense, and he's going to get the job because he can help relay to whoever is the starting quarterback, whether it's Sam Darnold or, in my humble opinion, I think it's going to be Justin Fields, who can explain to Justin Fields, hey, look, you're going to do this, 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 and this. And here, I take really good notes. That will get him a job. Yeah, you're 100% correct. Very underrated. I can see 7-19. 7-9 is what I think you meant. And might be a stretch, but you might be accurate. We'll have to see what they do. So Chase probably getting cut, or even a rework deal like Collins, where they add a year that he can be cut before and not take a hit. So, all right, Chase is gone. Chase Daniels, the man, made like $35 million as a backup. Dude, he was here in Kansas City. He signed a big deal in Philly, and then they ended up getting Sam Darnold. Then they ended up trading for Carson Wentz. And I remember Chase Daniel. He was ticked, but he didn't say anything. And then Sam Darnold, he was going to battle Sam Darnold, and then they drafted Chase Daniel, and Sam Darnold said, no, I'm out. I quit. I want out. Went to Arizona and just got beat out by the kid from UCLA, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. Josh Rosen, he just got beat out by Rosen. Got like $20 million, but yeah. I think we still draft a QB. You're gonna draft a few. I do want him. Ian Book, that might have been the guy I'm thinking of. Apparently, at one of these combines, you ran a 4.45. But I warned people because I warned people that when you hear about some of these camp times, it was funny. There's like kind of a joke like, hey, at this combine, I ran a 4.49 and I'm 46 years old. And it's not that far off from the truth. So, yeah, he's going to make an NFL roster. You know him. I know you know him. He's going to be on an NFL roster. I don't know where. It may be like 6th, 7th round. He may get drafted by a team, get cut, and then make another team as a third rounder. But he's going to be on the NFL roster. Did anyone see the Bussin' with the Boys with T.J. Hawkinson and George Kittle shows? No, I didn't. But I wonder if they're doing some crazy stuff, because I know there was a video of J.J. Watt and a few guys going ice fishing, and then they cut the thing out, and then they strip down to their underwear or boxers or whatever, and they sit in like the freezing water as like muscle revamping or something like that. But it was like some sort of training exercise. I'm like, you're out of your damn mind, man. Also, Dan, if you want to say a Texans reporter, that's not mega biased. I'd say watch Texans Thoughts. He covers more. He covers moves the Texans make and covers play-by-play studies on the players pick the time. You know what? I'll actually put that here. I'll open up another window. I'll actually take a look at it. The YouTube channel? Okay. I might already be subscribed to him after the show. I'll check it out. I've been kind of trying to stay away from fanboy channels because a lot of them are like you get like the Jets. I'm just taking for example, but okay, let's use this here. Go to a Cowboys fanboy channel. What are the Cowboys going to go 15-1? Dak Prescott 8,000 yards, 75 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott 4,000 yards, 50. I'm listen. I'm a Chiefs fan, but if I can go ahead and I can bet against Kansas City, I want to hear good thoughts. I want to hear good and bad. So, what if you did the NFL chime in like MIDI? I don't know what that means, man. MIDI. I don't know what that means, man. It's been a long week, man. Been a long week, but I'm glad you guys like the chime, man. I was really proud of that. Eventually, I want to get like some sounds in here as well, like a soundboard. But right now, I'm just like pinching pennies, and my job situation's not good either. I just found out today I might lose my job. Like a couple hours before I came on here, I found out that I was a contractor and they're not hiring me. So I just found that out. I'm going to vent because I'm kind of pissed about that. So, yeah, they made some changes. They may change it back, but essentially what it is that a roster used to have 53, dress 45. I think now you can dress 55. And they've actually increased the practice squad. But bottom line, though, is like, let's just say it's 55. It's very fluid on the back five. I mean, it's very fluid. There's a lot of players that are playing 1 week and then Monday they're off the team. And then 2 weeks later, they're starting on special teams. It happens a lot more than you think. It's one of the dark things about the NFL is that, hey, we're going to cut you. You play Sunday. We cut you Monday, but stay in shape because we may need you a week or two from now. And it happens. You get a receiver, for example, he has a bad hamstring. He's out 2 to 3 weeks. Well, what they do is they sign a receiver off the street for 2 to 3 weeks, but then when the hamstring heals, he's gone. So, it's kind of the dark side of the NFL. It's tough, but they do get paid pretty well. So, yeah. 7-19 is the record prediction when they fired a coach. Just I think the Bears will be the bottom of the cellar. Vikings slightly better than the Lions. The Vikings are a team I think could be really, really good. I really think the Vikings could surprise people. I have a huge man crush on Mike Zimmer. With the Bears, I just want to see what they do at the quarterback. That's kind of my thing. Who's the quarterback? I mean, if they get a pretty good quarterback who's not a rookie, they're dangerous. That defense is really good. They have some good pieces on offense. So Stokes, the cornerback from Georgia, ran a 4.25 on the Henley. Yeah, if you look here on the screen, if you didn't watch the Philly video, Caleb Farley ran a 4.24 on a laser, and Caleb Farley is like 6'2", 210, and he looks like he looks athletic. He looks like he's a 4'4" dude. He doesn't look like he's 4.24. Stokes, the corner, I don't think he's a 4. In Indianapolis, that's probably like 4.38 or something. Stevie, what's up, brother? I completely forgot it was Friday. Yeah, man, join the Friday night show, man. I'm glad you're here, brother. Glad you're here, man. Texans thoughts, more of a commentator of the Texans. He has really good film studies of players draft. You know what? The reason why I got a lot of Lions fans is my boy Luke G Field Review. He does something for the Lions, and it's really good because for his draft coverage, which I really like, he breaks down players, but he breaks down for the Lions, so he's going to break down like linebackers, defensive ends. He probably won't do quarterbacks, but he does a lot of really cool stuff. So, yeah, well, I mean, you got to be a little biased, but there's a difference between being a little biased and then thinking that every single player on your team is going to make the Pro Bowl. You're going to win every game by 50 points. So how many times I don't think I've done it yet. I don't think I've done it yet. I am jacked up. I am very jacked up though. So that sucks, man. Good luck to you and your view. I'm really here's okay. Here's the drill, and here's how it affects you. My contract was coming to an end in February, the beginning of February. So I put out some feelers, and I got a job interview, and I ended up getting the job. Okay, they were willing to hire me, and I said, well, I got to get my 2 weeks, but I have to quit this job. Kind of think about it over the weekend. The problem is that particular job, it would be 4 to midnight, which obviously I would have to cancel the show. So I decided to stay with my current job because when I talked to my boss, he said, well, here's the deal, Dan. We're hiring you at the end of the month, which was February. In case you didn't figure out, it's March 5th. So earlier in the week, I said, what's the deal? You told me I had a job. And he's like, here's the deal. We're bringing on some people. We're not bringing on you. And I would not, I would have taken that other job. Of course, I wouldn't have been on the air doing the show. So I'm kind of back to like, okay, I put out some feelers. I might have to quit doing this, which is one of my favorite things to do in the whole world. But, the guy isn't a Texan. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that whoever their team is, they win every game. And yeah, I don't do that. No, I'm not denying Coke yet. I am jacked up. I am drinking coffee. So yeah. Oh yeah, okay, yes, you are right, Alex. The 17th game is added. Yeah, this year it's 17 games, so I believe. Okay. No, it's 17 games, 18 weeks. And they're doing that because they don't want to expand it. But yeah, it's 17 games this year. But they're keeping it to 18 weeks. So yeah. Yeah, you are right. And that's something when the season starts, we'll kind of talk about that a little bit. So I'm breaking down teams over unders. It's going to be a little difficult for Vegas odds makers, and this might be a great opportunity for you to make some money. Do I think golf gets restructured? No, I don't. And the reason why is that golf wants to keep his money. Golf, I'm going to listen. I'm just going to level with you. You're a California guy. All right, you took the Rams to the Super Bowl. You're starting quarterback. More than likely, the Rams probably came to golf and said, "Hey, you want to restructure?" And golf said, "No, I want to keep my $43 million." If I'm Jared Goff, I restructure and do everything I can to stay with Detroit. However, it's like I said before, it's one thing to say, "Hey, you should restructure," but are you going to turn down that $43 million? And everybody here who doesn't have $43 million is going to say, "No, I'd throw that $43 million away. I'd accept 30." No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. So I don't think so. No, here's what I think is going to happen is he's going to get this year. And if he plays really well, he'll get next year. And if he continues to play really well, he'll get the year after. But the leash is short. It wouldn't surprise me if he plays like 8 or 9 games and gets benched. And then in 2022, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna draft a quarterback." So, but restructured, I don't think so. I think Goff wants his money, and then he's going to, because here's the deal: Goff's a good enough quarterback that even if he gets cut by the Lions, he'll get signed by another team. So, like saying Tave, the best linebacker in the league. He said, "You think any other quarterbacks are on the move?" Well, maybe. I mean, when free agency starts, we're going to see some things. You got Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they're going to move on, but the question is, who can play over Jimmy Garoppolo, or can San Francisco work out a trade? I think San Francisco might be trying to maneuver themselves in the draft. Jameis Winston, his situation's up in the air. Is he going to re-sign with the Saints? Is Drew Brees going to retire? Cam Newton in New England. It's not really it's not really a guarantee. That's something to watch. Washington, they're going to go ahead and move on from Alex Smith. What are they going to do at the quarterback position? Ben Roethlisberger reworked his contract, but it doesn't mean that Dwayne Haskins may not get traded for like a 6th-round draft pick to somebody who might just say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm willing to restructure my contract. Drawing a blank on the quarterback, had a cool mustache in Jacksonville. What's this guy's name? Minshew. Minshew's going to move on. There's a chance that Minshew may end up in San Francisco. That could happen. So there's going to be some movement. I'm just not sure who, where, but trust me, once free agency hit, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. One pride, I hope not even traded off. He can be traded next offseason for no cap hit. LA is on the hook for all of his guarantees and doing something. Me and the Lions have to eat something to trade. Yeah, there's some movement here. And I bring up 2023 because the Clemson quarterback by the way, if you think I'm nuts, watch that game. This is a true freshman who got none of the starting snaps because of Trevor Lawrence, and then he found out, I think that week, maybe 2 weeks. But Notre Dame's a really good team, and this is a true freshman, first start. He looked phenomenal. I think he's like 6'5", 250 and can move. I mean, scouts were drooling. Matter of fact, right now today, he's my Heisman favorite. He is my Heisman favorite today. The guy played one game last year. The Clemson quarterback, I don't even know his name. He's my Heisman favorite. He's really good. Don't be surprised. I'm saying this right now. He's going to be the first pick in the 2023 draft. He's that good. If they push Super Bowl week later, I foresee zero issues if the Super Bowl falls on Valentine's Day. Oh, God. That would be weird, wouldn't it? David Johnson restructured his contract with the Texans, now being a 1-year, $6 million. Okay. That's actually a good move for the Texans. Trust, you've been watching that Clemson quarterback. You know what I'm talking about. He will either re-sign for a much smaller contract or will head into free agency. You're not talking Watson, are you? Who are we talking? Oh, Goff. Yeah. Yeah. I think Goff's more likely to go ahead and get his money and then and no disrespect. I mean, Detroit's not a major media market. I have a hard time believing Goff, a California kid playing in California, really, really was excited about Detroit. He's probably thinking, hey, I'll hang out in Detroit for 2 years. I'll get my $70 million and I'll enjoy it. Yeah. It's the oldest Manning brother. His name's Cooper Manning. His son is already signed with Ole Miss. I think he's a junior in high school. I think he's going to be a junior. So in 2 years from now, he'll be the starting quarterback for Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, if Lane Kiffin lasts that long. And so let me see. So like 2025, he's going to be the first pick in the draft. And he will. I mean, Ole Miss is building. Lane Kiffin knows how to recruit. You can say all you want about him. Dude knows how to recruit, so he's bringing in some players. Apparently, he's already signed. So I don't know. I think he's a junior this year in high school, and his games are already like on ESPN, so it's nuts. But yeah. I want a QB at 7. I have a man crush on Lance, plus he's 20 and sitting for. Well, the argument is that you could draft him and play him in a Taysom Hill role because you have the head coach and defensive coordinator from the Saints, and because you got Anthony Lynn, who's an old school type of guy, you could go ahead and draft a guy like this and say, hey, listen, year 3, we're going to do it old school. You're going to sit for a year. You're not even allowed to look at the field. You're going to just do all the junk work that a young kid does. You're going to learn the offense. You better know it forwards, backwards, sideways. And then, occasionally we'll let you look at the field. Then maybe in year 2, you let him participate a lot more and then plan that for him to start in 2023. I could see that. I don't think the Lions are going to do that. I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's much more likely Trey Lance available at 7 and San Francisco trades up to 7 and San Francisco drafts Trey Lance. I think that's a lot more likely. That's my opinion. David Johnson. Yeah, David Johnson. Yeah, I didn't know that. This is the whole point of the show, so I get to learn some stuff. So I mean, I didn't know this, and this is a good move for Houston because you get a running back who didn't play that well last year, but hey, he's going to stay with the team. Hopefully he can regain that form that made him everybody's first pick in every single fantasy football league ever. You work on building up that team. I still think Sean Watson's going to stay there. I didn't get your opinion of Terrell Williams signing. I'm sorry. I thought I gave it to you. Big fan of it. Terrell Williams was really, really good with the Chargers. Really, really good with the Chargers. Went out to the Raiders. Didn't have that good a year. But here's the thing. If you don't know anything else about John Gruden's a former wide receivers coach. He runs the West Coast offense. It's very similar to what Andy Reid runs. It's an extremely complex offense, and it's not uncommon for some receivers to struggle. I think there was also some injury issues along, but Terrell Williams with the Lions, it's a great signing. It's a 1-year deal. So I don't want to say it was like $6.5 million. So, I mean, it wasn't chump change, but it's enough that basically like this. Let's say he replaces Galladay, puts up Galladay type production. All right. Then you re-sign him late in the year. Great move though. Yeah, I loved him with the Chargers. Didn't do that much with the Raiders last year. It's a great move for the Lions. Great move. Yeah. I don't think is his name Archie? Is his name Arch? You know what? I think you're right. I think his name is Arch. So I think Arch is a junior this year in high school. He'll start day one at Ole Miss. I don't care what they say. He'll start day one at Ole Miss. And seriously, they'll be like a top 25 team. They could win one game the year before, but they'll start out the season in top 25 just because of Arch Manning. No offense, Funk. He's low-key overrated. Only quarterback I like outside of Lawrence is Wilson, a.k.a. Baby Assassin. Hey, man, we're allowed to disagree here. I like Zach, not Kyle Wilson, and I do like him a lot. I really like him a lot. I think Lance's best fit is to go to a team where he can sit. But if he goes to San Francisco, he'd probably have to play a day one. So I think if Anthony Lynn were old school, he would want a big running back like Najee Harris in the backfield with Swift. Well, he is old school in that way, but a lot of teams now are switching to a 2 running back approach. You know, the fullback's kind of obsolete in the NFL nowadays. What they did in LA was I can't pronounce Eckler, whatever. He was a running back, but he was also like their number 1 slot receiver. And then they drafted another running back. So they kind of rotated those 2 guys. They really want I can tell you right now, Anthony Lynn really likes running backs that can catch the football. I think DeAndre Swift, if he is healthy, is going to have a huge year. Huge year. So don't forget about Randall L. I will say I remember a lot of people thought Antoine Randall L. deserved the Heisman, and he went 5-6 his last year at Indiana as a quarterback, and a lot of people thought he deserved the Heisman. I mean, I'm not talking like some guy, you know, that lots of people thought he was legitimately the best player in the country. So don't forget Hines Ward. I watched the game. I watched the Peach Bowl where he quarterbacked Georgia, threw for over 400 yards. He was a good college quarterback. So yeah, Antoine Randall and Hines Ward, both of those guys were really good college quarterbacks. But if you think that Trey Lance is a guy who's going to go from quarterback to wide receiver, I think there's a few other guys, but no, Lance is going to be a quarterback. He's going to stay at quarterback, but he has a lot of good athleticism. So the kid from Clemson is going to be the one to pick in the draft. So he had a better last year than in 2019 averaging. Okay. Averaging 4.5 yards per play instead of 3.3. I don't think he isn't as good as he was and would be better trade, but if he can play better, then I get. Okay, and I'm slow on the comments here, but he's talking about David Johnson, and I didn't know he averaged 4.5 yards per play, but he's not a bad running back. It's not like you got a guy that there's 50 better running backs, and no, he's just not the number one guy in fantasy football anymore. I think that the odds are that he'll be better this year than next year, because I think they will add somebody either in free agency or in the draft at wide receiver, which will of course help out. They may also boost up the offensive line. Keep in mind, you're switching coaches in mid-season. You're not going to do that again. You should also have OTAs in training camp that should ideally help out. So, this is really good news here. Charges not filed on Vaughn. Contract negotiations are going to get started. That is great news. I'm a Chiefs fan, and so it's a little unusual for a Chiefs fan to be like, "Yay, Von Miller." Dude, I respect it, man. Von Miller's been nothing but really cool. And the fact that he is going to, there was talk about him leaving Denver. It just sounds wrong. It really sounds wrong. And this is a guy who I think that if he comes back healthy, he might be the best defensive player in the AFC West. Big, good news for the Denver Broncos. For those of you that don't know, there was some police charges against Von Miller, but the NFL and the media actually kept it very, very quiet, which kind of surprised me. But hey, according to Denver Gator, who's right there, charges are not filed, and that's a great sign. And I don't get me wrong, I think Von Miller looked a lot good in Chiefs, looked a lot better in Chiefs red than Broncos orange, but it's a good thing I think it's a good thing for the NFL. It's a good thing for the NFL. No, it's a good thing that he's staying there. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Don't be surprised though if they bring in a running back, another running back. So, 42 TDs, 0 picks, kind of hard to be overrated. Rushing and passing, yes, he played lesser competition, but he had Big Ten offers to play wide. I heard it was linebacker because I know Northwestern offered him a scholarship to play linebacker. And the dude's a big dude. I mean, he's like 6'3", 240. So I didn't know about wideout. He didn't play last year. The one game he did play, he played like one half. He did throw a pick. He didn't have a touchdown. Did run a lot. They showed like a stat of like how many pass attempts or how many snaps, something like that. It was a really small amount. I like the kid. But this is a guy I really think needs to sit for, and you know what? I say that about every quarterback. But out of the 5 quarterbacks in the first round, if you had to say, give me one who can sit for a year, this is the guy. Or you put him in a situation like you put him in Taysom Hill, but say under no circumstances, or you're basically the third string quarterback, but we'll just get you on the field, kind of run around. But that's the whole point of this show, is that we just talk football. You say this, I say that, and we just kind of go from there. As you can see, I'll scroll below. That's my mock draft to date, and there's 3 quarterbacks out of the 5 that are gone. It's him and Mac Jones. So, though I find the Texans not franchise tagging Will Fuller, stupidest thing to do. Number 1 wide receiver gone in 2 years. Don't they still have the option to do that? I'm asking. I don't know. I'm going to assume you know better. I saw some things on social media of Will Fuller training. Will Fuller is one of those guys that if he stays healthy, he's one of the best receivers in football. Dude can't stay healthy. At that Exos, that training camp that they have, he'd probably run a 3.9, 3.40 or something. I think in Indy he ran like a 4.31. Really good player. Can't stay healthy. That doesn't really surprise me because of his health issues. You can only count on him to play half the season, so it's not as bad as Hopkins. But I understand your frustration. I completely understand. It may not be that bad of a move. Guys, don't forget, give me a thumbs up. Put a comment down there. So does another Manning college football make it? No. This is Archie Manning's grandson, Cooper Manning, the oldest of the Manning brothers. It's his son, and I think Funk's right. I think his name's Arch. his high school games are already on ESPN. I think he's a sophomore, already committed to Ole Miss. So, but I could be wrong about this, but I believe he's a junior in high school. So, and you can win with a mediocre quarterback. Ask the Vikings, Eagles, 49ers, all mediocre. Take a shot there, man. Taking some shots. You can, but you need everything else to work perfectly. Yeah. It's Cooper's kid. But who did he play? Okay. He's asking about this. No, he played lesser competition, and nobody's doubting that, but the physical talent's there. The one thing I heard him on Around the Sticks, the Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network. He has a podcast. It's a must listen to. I listen to every episode. They had Trey Lance, and he just blew everybody away. When you hear the guy talk, he has all the characteristics of an NFL quarterback. He's intelligent. He commands respect. He's not one of those like, I'm an alpha dog. He is an alpha dude, but he's intelligent. He's smart. North Dakota State does a lot of adjustments that the NFL does. So even though he played at a smaller school, he's more pro ready in a lot of ways. The reason why I think he needs to sit is because he didn't play last year. The speed is just going to be so different. And he didn't play much. He only played that one season. So this is a very raw guy. I think a team's going to mess up. I think the 49ers could trade up and get him and start him day one, and I think he'll suck as a rookie, and then he may get better. But got to rest. I think rest, but there's a good chance that he may start. So, but hey, they got Trevor Lawrence. I didn't say Tannehill. So Arch is Peyton. Yeah. Greatest NFL family: Manning, Watt, Bosa. Man, there was a show about like who had the greatest family. The NFL Network had top 10 NFL families. I'm trying to think. There was one other one that was really good, and I'm drawing a blank. It wasn't one of them that I mentioned. Manning's is the best. The Watt brothers are pretty good. Bosa family. There's one other one that they had some old. Oh, the Matthews family. Yeah, all those guys played like 20 years, and all of them are really good. All right, Stuffy knows. I promise it's not blow. I finally did it. I finally said I wasn't doing blow. So, that would have been kind of funny. The Vikings guy ended up in Detroit, but yeah. All right. Oh man, am I really this behind? Oh shit, I'm really behind. Okay. Who did Mahomes play? Seriously, it's not like his team was loaded with first round talent like Mac Jones and Tua. Dude didn't even have a wide receiver that'll play in the league, still completed. Yeah, there was a lot of talk about that. But he also did have some really big games. Like he threw for, I think it was like, I know it was over 700 because it was like an NCAA record. Threw for like, I think 750 something against Oklahoma when they had Baker Mayfield. Baker threw for like 5 something. It was like an NCAA record, like over 1,200 yards passing. He did some really crazy stuff in college. None of those receivers were worth a shit. There's a lot of other things, but that's a cool thing is between now and the draft, we're going to debate those things. So. I don't think Miller leaving Denver sounds wrong. He grew up idolizing Derek Thomas. I think it would be a fairy tale. No, he did. He chose 58 because he idolized Derek Thomas. I would love him in Kansas City. It's just I think he's a 3-4 guy. I don't think he's I don't think he fits in with Chiefs defense. But yeah, I love Von Miller. I think it's kind of cool they stay in there. I think it's kind of cool. We need to study the DNA of the Manning family. They are too good football. And he had a ton of drops. I Mahomes or Lance. I can't vouch for Lance. Mahomes I can vouch for. Yeah, he played Texas Tech. So Don't compare Lance to Mahomes. Iowa offered a linebacker, and a few other teams offered DB scholarships, but he bet on himself, the kind of character. No, I agree, and he actually talked about that in the interview, and he sounded really good too. Everything he said just sounded fantastic. Really, my impression of him just skyrocketed after hearing him talk. I mean, he's also got, he really has the best build. I mean, he's going to be like 240, 6'3". He's the fastest, probably the fastest out of the 5 quarterbacks that are going in the first round. If you want to say Lawrence, I said Lawrence, or I said, did I say Tannehill? I meant Lawrence. I meant Lawrence. Actually, you know what? He may not be the fastest, but I think he's a better athlete than Fields or Lawrence. I think Zach Wilson may have the best arm talent. So, I agree with you, Funk. Yeah, Big Ben, he played at Miami of Ohio. Did they offer QB? From what I was told, if I remember the interview, is that a bunch of Big Ten scholarships. I heard linebacker. I don't know about DB or wide receiver, but I know Northwestern specifically said you can come play linebacker, but he wanted to play quarterback. So that's kind of cool when you have a kid who's got an opportunity to play big time college football, plays at a small time school, and he did excel. He did win I don't know what they call it, but essentially the national championship down there, and he had a great season. He did sit out, but I mean, I don't know how much I blame him. I mean, he's going in the first round. It's just a question of where in the first round he's going. So, if Vaughn goes to the Chiefs, I would have to not hate the Chiefs so much. By the way, are you guys considering keeping Bell? No, Bell's going to be gone. We got he had a big game in the San Francisco Super Bowl. I know his name's Daryl. I can't remember if it's Daryl. But anyway, he sat out for COVID. He's going to come back. We're really, really high on CEH. We actually got like another. We have 2 Williams, Darnell Thompson, and then CEH. So Bell is probably going to be gone. He's just really, to be honest, the odd man out. I mean, he was a healthy scratch for the Super Bowl. I was really shocked about that, to tell you the truth. I was really ashamed because a lot of people were really excited. Bell does not look like even close to the same guy. I don't know if it's injuries or what have you. He may have just been one of those guys that just he had all those touches and it just took a toll on him. But I would say the odds are very low that he's coming back to Kansas City. So is Big Ben a top 10 quarterback? One Pride 40, he's definitely not a top 10 quarterback now. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback of all time, but some people might argue that. I mean, he may have top 10 stats. I think in his prime, he was definitely a top 10 quarterback in the league. But is he? If you have to name starters 1 through 32, I would put Big Ben somewhere between 14 and 18, and maybe even lower, because he didn't look good towards the end of the year. He really didn't look good. He looked, the velocity really went down. He was always known for kind of scrambling, moving around. He clearly didn't want to move around. He always played like a big, strong dude, and then last year he really didn't. So I'm kind of surprised the Steelers didn't move on since they got Haskins, but let's see what happens. All right, it seems like there's like some weird noise there, but can't help who he played, but you have to realize the talent on his team is on that level, has to come. Well, I can argue both that, because there's more NFL talent on North Dakota State than just Lance. I think the left tackle, he's probably going to go like second, third round. I think they have a running back and a receiver that are both going to make NFL teams, going against a bunch of guys. Every team they play against has nobody going to the NFL, where they got, probably 3 to 5 players that are going pro. So take that however you will. Yeah, probably. I might put it a little higher, like maybe 2%. But I doubt he's coming back. Fuller's contract has the option of a $15 million franchise tag, but the Texans aren't supposed to do it. It's definitely is a Texans thing for a player to break out the full season on the That happened in Kansas City too, man. That happened in Damian Williams, the guy who many should have won Super Bowl MVP, and he's coming back. Steve, you said it. You said best yourself. I didn't have to say anything. So, the GM Peyton was covered by a lot of teams. We were super fortunate to get him. Lions would have such more leverage in that division. Wow, it's crazy to think about. I forgot his name was Peyton. So sorry, man. My nose is getting stuffy. It's not blow. I know Stevie says that. I think you guys think I really do blow. No, I'm just jacked up. I'm not on blow. All right. I love the arguing back and forth here. Tiki doesn't. Tiki doesn't. Tiki doesn't. Rondé does, if I remember right, because the year Tiki retired is the first of Manning's Super Bowls, if I got my math right. Matthews. The Longs. I forgot about the Longs. The Matthews family is really high up there. That was Lance, who had no one complete 67%. All right. Hey, Dan, got to cut it short tonight. Got some stuff I need to take care of. Hope you check out Texans Thoughts and enjoy it. Hope your job's safe. Hey, Matt, thank you very much for the good words. Sorry to rant about personal stuff, but I had that conversation like just 2 hours before I started the show, and for the last couple hours, I was just pissed. Still pissed. So, NFL is what you have done for me lately. That and said Mac Jones would go. You know what? The Mac Jones hype train has been skyrocketing up. There's a very good chance he goes a lot higher than most people think. And bottom line, I started watching some film on him, just not a ton, but there's not that much difference between Mac Jones and Joe Burrow. It's very similar. Joe Burrow has a little more running ability. Very, very similar. Very similar. I can argue Mac Jones has a stronger arm, and I really do believe that. So the Mac Jones hype train is going out of control right now. So he's going to go pretty high. Let's build a squad and get. Well, that if you watch my video, that's kind of what I think. That's the reason why I have the pick at 7 as Penei Sewell. Just go ahead and build a super offensive line, and who gives a shit who your quarterback is? You got a great offensive line, you have Pro Bowl tight end, you have a really good running back. Basically, you have to add a receiver, and for the last couple of years, receivers been the deepest position in the draft. So if they listen to me and they do what I say, you're gonna have a pretty good team. So. Rendez and Cox will get drafted, but the other kids will be okay. You're talking about the North Dakota State, and I didn't even know their names. So you and this is kind of the reason why I do the show is because I'm talking, but I want to actually hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear opinions that you guys have, because you may say something that I may miss. So. Those guys are studs, but he was playing against who will get drafted. Okay. And Cox went to LSU and balled. Cox is, I know you guys are high on him. I got to watch some more film on him. So get out your feelings. We'll watch tape. The kid has all the tools to be a stud. I agree. He comes in so raw, and he comes in raw, man. That's all. Jeez, I love this here. We got Lions fans going back and forth. Hey, man, I feel you feel comfortable enough with us to share personal info, like high football intelligence. Exactly, man. I normally don't, but I was just boiling pissed off mad when I got that phone call today. Really felt lied to, man. Felt really lied to, So anyway, yeah. How do I feel? Hey, man, we're all on the same team here. We're all on the same team. But he has a right to go to a successful team, yeah. And keep in mind, I mean, listen, we still got, 6-7 weeks till the draft. A lot of things are going to happen. We're going to have pro days. We're going to have workouts. It's going to be a lot to watch. A lot of things are going to happen. Free agency hasn't even hit yet. Free agency will actually be next week, if I remember right. And then free agency, what's going to happen is when free agency hits, I'm going to have to go back and kind of tweak my mock draft a little bit. So lots of stuff is going to happen over when free agency starts. There's going to be an explosion. And there's going to be a lot of big news, and we're going to talk about it right here. So he just needs a year to sit, and the Lions would give him the best chance to just do that. It is a good opportunity because he would sit for 2 years, and that's exactly what he needs while he can still play that Taysom Hill role if the Lions want to do that. But in my opinion, I don't think the Lions are going to do that. I think that if Trey Lance is available, I think there could be a team, and I'm going to target San Francisco because they're trying to make a move that goes ahead and gets them. Now, keep in mind, San Francisco may go ahead and make a move in free agency. They may want to stay with Jimmy G, but anyway. Man, it's all about love here. It's all about love. I like McCall or Bryce Young in 2023. I know one of those guys is the Clemson quarterback. I don't know who the other one is. I should know better, but my college football knowledge is not that high. It really isn't. It really isn't. But I love the draft because I want to find out about the draft. That way I can find out like who's going to play, who's not, and then it goes to betting because here's the deal. I'm going to do a bunch of draft videos between now and the draft. Then I'm going to wait. And then after the 4th of July, I'm going to start doing team videos. I'm going to break down all 32 teams. And then I'll reveal in the videos who I'm going to bet on, who I'm not going to bet on. This is a great question. Are they letting the combine happen? Cancel? Okay. Originally it was canceled. Now they're talking about doing a virtual combine in different places. That way they can get it on TV. Pro days are going to be huge this year. But we're going to go ahead and watch a lot of pro days. So, okay, the Bama QB. Okay, the Bama QB is getting a ton of hype. McCall from Coastal Carolina. I'm not sure he's an NFL guy because I think he's like 6 foot, 190. Has a weak NFL arm, highly accurate. He's a guy that's going to need to put on a lot of weight. And another thing is that there's assistant coaches. I think the head coach is still there, but there's assistant coaches that have left. So with the Coastal Carolina kid, I would hold off my hype. The Bama QB, I heard that they're in love with, the Clemson quarterback, whatever his name is, he's going to be the first pick in the draft in 2023. He is good. So see, you guys end up making up. Listen, guys, I've been on for a little over 118. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Man, give me a thumbs up, man. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget, drop a comment below. All my social media is below, so you can go ahead and hit me up. You can always email me. I now answer my emails at thedanshow@yahoo.com. Hey, man, thanks for talking football with me. Now, don't forget, I'm going to have 3 draft videos out. I'm going to have Carolina, Denver, and then the Cowboys. They're all going to come out. I try to release it at noon on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then hopefully I see you guys all back next week. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next Friday.